There's no two ways about it. Defense wins games because it gives us a chance to control the ball and go on offense. So no defense equals no offense, and that means we don't win. So let's talk about defensive positioning when the other team is hitting. Let's say the hit is coming from the right. We've got a double block up there, so if the ball is not blocked, it's going off the hands in 3 places. It's either going to be deflected downward right by the block, or it'll be deflected shallow across the front court, or it'll be deflected high and deep off the hands. The wing player on the side of the block is responsible for picking up the close deflections. That's why the wing player must move right up under the block every time. By the way, the blocker should know never to reach for a deflected ball, as that usually results in a one-armed shank pass. So when you're blocking, always trust your other players to dig the deflections. Now the outside hitter has to cheat in to cover the deflection across the front court, because the ball is always going to hit the floor halfway between the middle and the outside. The back middle is always parked right on the back line and never cheats forward, but always slides over behind the block. The reason for this tactic is if the ball is hit hard off the top of the block, it's going deep here in this area, and the back middle player can then quickly get into position to pass it. Or if the block is sealed up nice and tight, the hitter is going to dump the ball behind the block. If he or she dumps shallow, this wing right here will pick it up. But if he dumps deep, then again, the back middle can quickly get into position to pass. Now there's only one lane if the block is set right, so we only need one digger in that lane, and that's the opposite wing. The wing's lane is easy because she will always put her body right on the 20-foot line, directly in line with the ball and the hitter. If you're in front of the 20-foot line, you're going to get hit in the face or the chest. And if you're too deep, then the ball hits the floor right in front of you. I haven't seen anyone in this division that can hit the ball straight down against a good block. So dig that lane on the 20-foot line. Now let's look at a hit coming from the left side. Since Robbie's our designated back row blocker, he may end up setting up a single block over there. But he always forces the hitter to hit the angle instead of down the line. So we want the opposite wing player digging right in that lane, again lined up with the ball and the hitter. Then the left side wing covers up real close right under the block to pick up the short deflections, and the right side hitter cheats in to get the deflection that might come partway across the front court, and the back middle slides left to pick up the deep dump or the hard hit off the top of the block. On a middle hit there are 2 lanes, here and here. So both wings then have to park themselves on the 20-foot line, directly in line with the ball and the hitter. Here's your position when the hitter is approaching straight to the net. Here's what it looks like when the hitter is coming in at an angle and at the other angle. Both outside hitters cover the deflections or the dump right behind the middle block, and the middle back player stays deep to cover the high deflection or the deep dumps. When you're digging, where do you pass? Ideally, you pass to the setter's sweet spot, just right of center, right here. Of course, on a hard hit or a deflection, one never knows where the ball will go off the dig, and that's another reason why Anthony is our designated back middle player. Because anytime the ball is not passed up front perfectly, I'm going to set the ball high right here in the middle, about 3 feet off the net, and Anthony runs the pipe and hits from behind the 10-foot line. In one match, I set 6 of those, and he scored on 5. That's easy money because no other team has a designated back row hitter, and no one has yet successfully blocked Anthony's pipe hits. Okay, let's wrap up. So the wing player digs right up close under the block, and the opposite outside hitter scoops in, and the opposite wing player parks it right on the 20-foot line in that lane, and the back middle player stays deep, almost behind the block. Piece of cake.